if if they say things like I was just thinking, if they say things like I didn't know he was manipulating me at the time, but now that I've studied on it a little bit more and looked at a couple more videos, if they say things like you're overreacting, sis, that's a manipulation tactic. They will hurt your feelings, and then when you cry or look sad or, you know, try to, understand why he said what he said, the first thing he will say is, "Oh, you're overreacting. I didn't mean it like that. You took it the wrong way." Just like when we would go in grocery stores and he would talk to women at the cashier and things, and he would say things to make them laugh, and I'm standing right there. Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is not appropriate. And we would get back to the car, and then I would talk to him about it, and that's when he'd say, "You're overreacting. That's not how it is. That's not, you looking at it the wrong way. No, you looking at it the right way. He's just trying to make you think that you're wrong about thinking about how you're thinking about it." And then a lot of times they'll tell you it's your fault. If they did this, well, it's your fault that I did that. What? Well, you're the reason why I did it. No, you did it because you wanted to do it, but you gonna blame somebody else for doing what you did. It's just crazy, weird stuff that they do. I told you they're never gonna take accountable for anything that they do, but they will play the blame game and blame you for it, like it's your fault that this happened, and it's your fault that I said that and I didn't mean to say that. They're always gonna blame you. They're not gonna take accountability for anything, sis. I promise you. Don't look for it, because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Then he had gotten to the point right at the end. I think he was trying to scare me or whatever. He knew he was leaving, but he was like, ain't nobody gonna care about you like I did. You won't never find a man that treats you the way I treat you. I don't want to find a man that treats you the way that you treated me. Now, mind you, when we first was together, and that's where every relationship, when we first was together, everything was all peaches and cream. I mean, he treated me like royalty. He really did. I don't know, somewhere like they say late in the midnight hour, but no, somewhere along the way, he started changing. I don't know if it was midlife crisis or what, but he just started changing, and he quit doing things for me that husbands normally do. He quit doing those things, and he just started telling me, "Ain't nobody gonna treat you the way that I treated you," and all this stuff. And I'm like, "Where is this coming from? Where you going?" He's like, "No, I ain't going nowhere, but I'm just letting you know, ain't nobody gonna treat you the way I treated you." Lo and behold, he gone. But anyway, he used to tell me that I was too sensitive. Um, Things he would say, he never said those things. He just started saying things and moving differently, speaking differently, and it would really hurt me. And I would be taken aback because I'm like, where is this coming from? He normally would say nothing like that to me. He was always loving. He was always kind. But then he would say, he just got to the point where you just too sensitive. Things I used to do, he would all come here, baby, and all this and that. You know how they do it. But then after a while, he just kept telling me I was too sensitive. You take too much to heart, and yeah, I'm gonna take it to heart. You never treated me this way, so why are you treating me this way now? But he would say that, and yeah, he would tell me nobody's gonna love you the way I love you, and this, and then when he got to the point where he said, you think your kid's gonna take care of you. I think I said this in a previous video, but he said, you think your boy's gonna take care of you. They ain't studying you. They don't care nothing about you. No, you got that one wrong. You got that one wrong. Because I got my boys if I ain't got nobody else, you know. But he was trying to make me look at them in a bad light, you know. He was just weird. Right at the end, he was just weird. He was just weird. And then he was like, you need me. And, well, of course I felt like I needed you. But now you don't need nobody. You really don't need nobody but God. Really, really, sis. You don't need nobody but God. But you would like to have somebody, but you don't need nobody now. Because God is all you need. But if you'd like to have somebody where y'all can come together and build a relationship, that's all well and fine. But you don't need nobody. But he was saying that I needed him because I couldn't stand on my own. But I sit here today to tell you, sis, that it's been 3 years and I'm still standing. And I give all glory to God because he said I wasn't going to make it. But I'm here today only because of God's grace. So, sis, when they start talking crazy and weird and using the manipulation tactic and all that, you just stand strong. I do remember one night that we were, it's right here at the end, we was in the kitchen, and he always wanted to have a table discussion. That's where you go to the table and you air out if anything's bothering you. You know, that was for just if anything's bothering you. Well, how about now that I realize it, I never called a table discussion because I couldn't really find anything that bothered me that was worth going to the table. But he went to the table at least once or twice a week. We had to be at the table because of something that he didn't like, something that was said, just crazy stuff. With this particular night, I just, I didn't want to go to the table. And the reason why I didn't want to go to the table, because I knew he was going to be saying something about me. It was always about me. Something that I didn't do, something I said, and something he just won't please with in me. So this particular night, I didn't want to go to the table. I stood up, and he said I was being rebellious. Well, if that's what he called it, if that's what you say, then yeah, I was being rebellious. And he said that I was disrespecting him. So, yep, I disrespected him. And I stood up. I said, I'm right here. I hear you. He said, no, come and sit down. No, I'm not sitting down. I hear you. Next thing I know, he took that chair and he flipped it over. I've never seen that. I've never seen that in him. I've never seen that in him. He took that chair and he flipped it over. Now, that scared me. Because he made a move then that I never seen, sis. He took that chair and he flipped it over. And then he said, so you want to disrespect me? And I hated that word. I'm like, I'm not your child. Don't keep saying that to me, And he just went off. I mean, he flipped the chair over. And then after he said, you going to sit down or what? And I told him, no, I won't going to sit down. I'm standing right here. I can hear you. And then I had a little flower on the table, and he took that flower and he ran it across the table, and it fell on the floor and broke. He flung it so hard it went in the living room. That really scared me, but I still didn't sit down though, and I didn't let him know, I didn't let him see the fear in me, but it really scared me. But anyway, they'll do weird things, to try to see how you're going to react to it. But if you don't react, and I started learning right there at the end, if you don't react how they want you to react, do like I used to react. I used to react in a way where he going to get what he want. But then I turned the table, I flipped the script on him, and I started acting totally different. I started acting like it didn't bother me. Although it bothered me on the inside, I just started acting like it didn't bother me, to see what it would get. Oh, boy. It got worse. But I stood my ground. I still didn't, it wasn't like I was doing what I wanted to do, but per se, I was doing what I wanted to do because I got so tired of being controlled. Once I learned that it was control, that's when I started, like you said, being rebellious. Because I'm like, why are you trying to control me? Like a switch went off in my head. I didn't know it was control, but it was control. So I'm like, why are you trying to control me? You know, we both are grown. We both really could sit down and have a decent conversation. But it was like he had to have control. So, sis, all I'm saying is, you know, watch out for the manipulation tactics, because they are real, and they use this manipulation, try to keep controlling you. And I believe that night when I stood up and I told him that I wasn't gonna sit down, I believe that's the night that everything changed. I really do. I believe that's the night that everything changed. But of course I didn't think so. But I believe that's the night that everything changed. So just watch out for the manipulation talk. And we're all grown. You treat me grown. You treat me like a woman. I treat you like a man. But you're going to find them that they want to be the man. But they want you to be, they want to treat you like you one of their children. But I didn't go for it. And I guess that's why I'm here now. But I'm so thankful. God is still keeping me. Sis, stay blessed. Bye.